What's up, y'all? It's your girl LRochelle, Hardwood Diva, and I am here today, Sunday, October 5th, for Diva Mommy Dish. Gonna just talk to you all things mommy to be, all things pregnancy, just everything I've been going through for the last week. We are now officially into week 22. Week 22 started yesterday. And since then, a couple different things have happened. First of all, I know last week I said hubby hadn't been able to feel any movements from the baby just yet. But about 2 days later, 2 days after I made the video, he actually was able to feel the first few kicks for himself. And I know that was really exciting for him. Like, I just was laying there, and he's kind of like doing what he always does, is just sit there, touching my stomach, touching my stomach. And I felt something. I'm like, "Did you feel that?" He's like, "Yeah." Then I felt like another couple real quick. Did you feel that? Yeah. So he was really excited. It was awesome. It was really nice to be able to finally share that with him. It's very cool to have that experience just for yourself early on. It's just you and the baby, of course, through the pregnancy, but to finally be able to share that with the other person that is involved in this is really, really cool. So I'm happy he was able to actually feel those movements. Baby boy is starting to kick and move and do all those a lot more even than last week. One of the big things this week, I mean, I'm continuing to get bigger as things go along. May not be gaining a lot of weight, but my stomach's getting bigger. It's definitely becoming more and more noticeable that I am pregnant. So this week, the first kind of random stranger experience, because most people, I wear sometimes like big shirts and things like that for work. I'm not really keen on too much maternity stuff just yet. Mostly dresses is what I've bought so far. But not anything in the way of jeans, shirts, things like that. So this week was the first day where I really had someone that I don't know, that sees me on a regular basis but doesn't know me personally, actually come up and ask. I was at work and a lady just kind of was looking at me. And I see her from time to time, and she was like, "Everybody's got baby bumps now." And I kind of laughed, like, yeah. Then I went to get my nails done. The lady was giving me the pedicure, saw my stomach, and was like, "Oh my gosh, baby." So starting to get random people excited and wanting to touch my stomach. Haven't had a lot of people wanting to touch my stomach because, of course, this is still new for them and still new in the process of people being able to see. So I haven't gotten annoyed by it yet. I hear that people tend to. It just gets annoying to have random people wanting to walk up and touch your stomach. But so far, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute that they see it and other people are experiencing it. Of course, as far as symptoms, I don't have anything in the way of, like, still no nausea. That clearly is not going to be an experience for me through this pregnancy. The one thing I am noticing, and I don't know if you can hear it, I get out of breath really quick now. And I've been an athlete. I've worked out. I don't work out constantly, and even with any real regularity, but I'm in good shape. I walk daily, take the stairs, try and do, I have my Fitbit, so I work on my steps and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not in bad shape at all, but I noticed that I do get out of breath a little bit quicker because he's starting to take up my lung space. So that's very interesting. So I'm noticing it as I'm talking, and I'm like, "Oh geez, I've barely taken a breath since I started talking to you guys." So, okay, a breath, so I can get through this. But this week, I've had that. He's kicking. Like I said, I'm just kind of finding being out of breath is one of those things. Tired, not so much. I'm tired at the end of the day. By the end of the day, I get a little bit of a waddle. I try to avoid the waddle at all costs, but by the end of the day, it's like, ugh, I'm tired. My body hurts. I just want to walk. Not a lot of back pain. Invested in a body pillow, and that's thanks to my best friend who had a baby last year, and she told me about this amazing body pillow, and I have gotten it. I'll put it down. I can't remember what the name of it is right now, but I'll put it in the description box just so you guys can see what it's called. And that's been amazing, and I love it. So body pillows are awesome. Just hug it. I mean, I love my hubby, but it gets hot hugging up on a person in the middle of the night. So me and a pillow, just me and a pillow. helps me to just breathe better while I'm sleeping, laying on my side, which I have to do because of course I can't lay on my stomach. Laying on my back is clearly not fun. So it's awesome. Love body pillows. So if you get pregnant, get a body pillow and get one early, because even when you don't see your stomach coming out as much, it's still remarkable how awesome it is, because your body still is starting to do those things and muscles are moving and you're using them a lot more. So body pillow. Alright, so the main focus for me for this video is I want to talk about some of the vitamins and supplements that I've been taking pre-pregnancy and now post-pregnancy. I wanted to talk about it because I've had a couple of people, especially people I've worked with, that see all of the vitamins I take every day and are like, oh my gosh. But just also know that I've had very few symptoms, and I'm not going to claim that any of that has to do with it. It's more likely just kind of a genetics thing. My mother never had morning sickness, wasn't in a lot of pain throughout pregnancy, didn't have difficult pregnancies at all. So I'm going to go with it's probably a lot of genetics as well. But hubby is a natural guy. He's into natural medicine and all that stuff. So he's been having me on a lot of different things. So I'll talk to you about some of the things I've done. I did pre-pregnancy, some of the things I'm doing currently in my pregnancy, because some things that you do pre-pregnancy aren't very smart for during pregnancy. So I'll go over all of those. So first, the main three things that I take every day are prenatal vitamin, which of course is required, vitamin D, and iron. Actually 4 things. Prenatal vitamins, iron, vitamin D, and protein. So for prenatal vitamins, I take Garden of Life Kind Organics whole food prenatal vitamin, and you take 3 a day. I usually take 1 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, and I try and take them with food. The reason we went with the Kind Organics whole food one is because all of the vitamins that are included, all the necessary vitamins for your body during pregnancy, come from some sort of whole food source. So they'll get something from vitamin C from like organic oranges, or something from limes, or just different things. So everything, I'll put the each item that I actually use, I'll put it in there so you can look and see, and you can go on their websites and actually see what's listed on there. Of course, I'm not endorsing these products in the sense that no one's paying me. These are just actually things I take. My husband and I have done the research on them, so they're just things we personally are happy with, and I'm going to definitely continue to go with them. But yes, Garden of Life Kind Organics is one of their newer lines, whole food prenatal vitamin. And most of these things can be found either on Amazon.com or Vitacost.com. Vitacost is like our savior when it comes to buying vitamins. We buy lots of things in bulk and we get them from there. They ship them to you and they have really awesome pricing. So that would be a very good source. I did start taking prenatal vitamins before actually getting pregnant, while I was preparing to get pregnant. And that's just making sure that my body was prepared, making sure that, because it's just a delicate balance, I'm making sure that I have everything that I need, all of the nutrients, all of the sources that are needed to become a baby making factory. You got to start doing them ahead of time. So I started taking prenatals probably 3 months ahead of actually the time that I got pregnant. So those are my prenatal vitamins. And I don't take a separate iron supplement because it gives me 100% of the iron that's necessary for pregnancy in the dosage that I take. So I don't take a separate iron supplement. Vitamin D. We switch between 2 different vitamin D sources, but the main one we've been using lately is the vitamin D3 from Vitacost. It's the Vitacost brand. It's 1 capsule a day, and it actually has 10,000 international units, IU, whatever. So there's certain amounts that you should take, and that's a good amount. You want to take higher amounts of vitamin D. So I've been taking that one. And finally, for protein, you need lots of protein when you are pregnant. Tons of protein when you are pregnant. So you're supposed to take about half of your body weight in grams in protein. So I weigh about, well, before I got pregnant, I weighed about 145 pounds. I weigh like 148 right now. Y'all saw last video, you understand what happened. So I take about 75 grams. I need to have about 75 grams of protein every day. It's difficult to eat lots. It's difficult for me to eat lots of food. I have a small stomach anyway. Then to add to that, now it's taking up space with this baby. So what I usually do is I take a scoop of our protein, which is called NutriBody, and it's a pea and rice protein, as opposed to soy, which is, if you look up stuff on soy, soy is not the best protein option, and whey is not a very good protein option, even though it's probably the top one. Whey not so much, because it unfortunately has been seen to contribute to diabetes. It's got a lot of sugar in it basically. So I use a pea and rice one. It's not the best flavor, but I chug it down, and I do that in the morning usually, and it's usually about, one scoop is 25 grams. So I at least knock out a third of what I'm supposed to get and try and get the rest in meats and veggies. I usually put spinach in my spinach or kale in my smoothies every morning. I take a smoothie every day with fruits and veggies and coconut water. So these are the things that I do on a daily basis. Other supplements that I take that aren't necessarily recommended for pregnancy, but I've done them for a while before. I also take a green superfood. Actually a brand. Again, brand will go on the bottom. I get like the cocoa one, because the other one, like the plain one, is gross. And I mix it with like chocolate almond milk, do a scoop a day. And that gives you a lot of the veggie supplements that you need. It has spirulina in it, has kale, has all kinds of stuff. But it gets you that. And I mix that with my protein. So I put chocolate almond milk, the cocoa protein powder. The protein powder and the cocoa super green food. Shake it up in my little blender bottle. It's about 12 ounces. Chug that in the morning and we're off. I also use moringa, which is something that my husband's got me on. It's actually something, my husband is Nigerian. It's very popular in West Africa. His mom usually brings it when she comes back from Nigeria. We have the powder. There are actual supplements you can take on VitaCost. And then we also have like the little leaves that you can make into a tea. I usually take a teaspoon of the powder every day. Throw that into my little shaken gross smoothie. With all of the superfoods, and it's got all kinds of stuff. If you look up the research on moringa, it's got dosage upon dosage of all sorts of nutrients that are very good for your body. So I do that, and I also take a probiotic, which is really good for digestion. Your digestion kind of gets off when you're pregnant, because of course all these organs that are here in the middle of your body are getting pushed around and moved and squished because of this baby. So I take things just to help with digestion as we go along. I also take a couple of other things before, but I'm not taking them now just because they're not very good for pregnancy. One of them is curcumin, which is also turmeric. You can have it in natural sources, so if you sprinkle turmeric on food, that's fine. But you can't, taking supplements isn't good because it causes uterine spasms, also considered early contractions, so you don't want that. Ginger root, the same thing. So don't take those anymore, but I'll go back to taking them likely when I'm done being pregnant. So those are just some of the many pills that I've taken just to keep this body an awesome and amazing baby making factory. So if you're ready to get pregnant and you're interested in finding out what things are good for you, I'm more than happy to give you some of the research that my husband has done on all of these things and how they work for your body. Just kind of show you where to go. But like I said, 4 main things you want to take: prenatal vitamin with iron. Do it with iron so you don't have to take a separate iron supplement. All these extra pills, trust me, you're not excited to have to chug every day. Prenatal vitamin with iron, vitamin D, and protein. Those are the top 4 things that you need as a prego, as a person trying to get pregnant. Protein you don't need as much as you're trying to get pregnant, but once you get pregnant, you need lots of it. So there you have it. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. Like I said, I'll put a lot of the information on the things that we actually take in our description, and I'll likely write a blog with all of the information because I don't remember half of it. Hubby just gives me things and I take them. I do a little research because I need to make sure he's not trying to get a life insurance policy. But yes, so there you have it. Any questions, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I love you.